and I look for a flawless game. Like it's something that I continue to believe in because, again, that stuff carries over. When you're in a tight ball game with a playoff caliber team, my hope is that we can continue to play in November, that you have got to have that killer instinct. You must have that killer instinct. If you don't, the moment that you take your foot off the pedal, that's the slight edge that they can get you. And I've been a victim of that during my playing career, where you're up by 3 or 4 touchdowns and you're in the third, fourth quarter, and then before you know it, a bad play here, fumble here, and it's a tight ball game. And now you're fighting for your life. Now all the momentum has shifted. So my thing is to my team is that if you're a true championship team, you're going to develop that killer instinct when you keep your foot on the gas pedal, and the quality of play never goes away. In fact, you accelerate through that. So that's where we're at right now.
I'm curious, Eddie George, the coach versus player. I have thought about this. Do you want to hang on? No, put this on.
We're good.
You've been wanting this for a while. Katrina,
Yes.
how are you?
Yes.
Katrina just brought you the Tiger sweatshirt.
Yes, my Tiger sweatshirt. This is a little nippy
So
outside.
take this off.
Yes.
I got you.
All
So
right.
we are live on 102.5 The Game. It's the Eddie George Show, presented by the Low T Center and by Xander Insurance. You can join us. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. 737-1025. Shout out to Ladarius Robinson, who's been here all day, making it happen for Stillman and Company. And Caroline with Kenny Adams back at the station, making it happen for us. We appreciate you. TSU gets it done 30-14 over Tennessee Tech. Up next is Eastern Illinois. Now it's official. Now
Yes,
you're
now
officially
I'm
the
ready to
coach.
go.
That's
I'm
what.
good.
Well done. Coach Eddie George versus player Eddie George. Sometimes, not all the time, sometimes you get up 30-0, and the coach, and I'm not saying you did this, the coach will go prevent, defense, and run game. And just run the clock out, right? At least in theory, that's what you're trying to do. Protect the end zone and keep everything in front of you. Can some of the play calling lead to mailing it in?
No, we didn't. I think we were running the ball pretty effectively all game. They were having some issues with our run game, and we wanted to continue that. There was a key third down play. I think after they scored, it was 30-7. Where we did throw the ball and our receiver dropped it, and it led to another score. So we want to stay balanced in those situations.
I'm not doubting you here. I'm thinking about how I've seen teams actually put up points in garbage time.
Right, but that we didn't consider that garbage time.
Okay.
We're still playing competitive football. I would have liked to get another score. In fact, we did drive it down, got into field goal range, and we missed a field goal, which is uncharacteristic for Caleb Mosley. He's been
great.
Been great the whole season. I don't know what that deal was, but it was just disappointing to not be able to put points on the board when we were in the scoring zone.
Eastern Illinois up next, back home. Nissan Stadium, the location. That game, 94.9 The Fan, is where you can tune in. 2 o'clock kickoff. You get the midday kickoff, 1:30 pregame with Greg Pogue, Chris Sanders and company. TSU takes on Eastern Illinois. So they're coming off, correct me if I'm wrong, they've won 2 games recently. They beat Murray State and Northwestern State, I believe.
Northwestern State, yep. They lost last week to Lindenwood by in overtime.
Very similar to Lane in how things played out in that game.
Very similar. And this is a team that, they play hard. They're solid. They're a better run team than they were a year ago. They can run the ball. I think they are ranked on the top 40 in FCS football in terms of a run game. So we are going to have our hands full with that. Special teams has been disciplined, and so we have a task set out for us. So we have to go out and clearly play our type of football. Now, we just got, and Monday typically we look at who they are, what they do, scheme-wise. So we're still trying to get our arms wrapped around with the crux of who they are. But for the most part, they're tough-nosed, OVC, smash-mouth football team.
And a lot like TSU in regards to not playing many conference games to this point. Meanwhile, you see others, that have a certain 3-0 record in conference. Again, Now you're about to crank it up.
Yes, now we're about to get ready to roll.
We're ready to roll on the show. We're going to talk NFL, college.
Yes.
I feel like I was at the game of the year. What was going to be the game of the week last week turned out to be the game of the year in Knoxville.
Any UT fans in here?
Oh, look around.
Yeah, I see a couple orange.
Look around.
Man, what a scene.
I can't wait to get your take on this. And I want to know from the Eddie George perspective how you try to even slow down this offense right now for Tennessee. We'll get that coming up. Hit us up as well. 615-737-1025. 737-1025 if you want to jump in. It's the Eddie George Show presented by Xander Insurance and the Low T Center. And if you need an annual health exam, I recommend going to Low T Center to get all of your complete health assessments. They will check all of your levels, not just your T level. In most cases, it's completely covered by your health insurance. And if you don't have insurance, it's less than $100 for a full lab panel and an office visit with their medical provider to give you a complete health assessment. Low T Center specializes in men's health. They make it quick and easy, even verifying your insurance for you there on site. And if you don't live near a Low T Center, you probably do if you're hearing the show right now. But if you don't, they make it convenient for you. At-home treatment, Low T Center makes it easy to get started on treatment. Only your first 2 visits are in person. Go to lowtcenter.com. That's lowtcenter.com to learn more. You can book online, lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's health care.
Want the latest on college football and Nashville sports?
He looks like 1,000 quarterbacks I've seen in a college game.
Join Outkick 360's Chad Withrow every Friday at 5 with Stillman and Company.
The coaching staff kept him and got rid of the other guys.
He'll bring opinions and charisma for a full half hour every week.
If he's so great in the locker room, then give him a coaching gig.
Chad Withrow is presented by Two Rivers Ford. Custom order your new Ford from Two Rivers Ford on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Black Friday deals are here earlier than ever at Electronic Express. Come into our convenient locations for great deals on all of your favorite brands like Samsung, Whirlpool, Bose, Breville, and more. Electronic Express has huge savings in every department: computers, appliances, 4K TVs, housewares, furniture, mattresses, and more. Save up to 40% with up to 36 months free financing. Shop in-store or online at electronicexpress.com and get free express delivery on most items. Electronic Express. We make it happen.
Hey, Robbie Stanley here, and one of the things I love about betting on the NFL is that I'm always finding new players or game props that I like. And what's cool about FanDuel Sportsbook is you can combine these props with other bets from the same game to score an even bigger payout. And it's perfect for Monday Night Football. The Chargers and the Broncos. Give me the Chargers on the money line. Give me Austin Eckler as an anytime touchdown as well. But you take it any way you want to take it. Same game parlay is just one of the reasons I bet with FanDuel. They've got great live betting options and great odds boost and specials every day as well. There's no feeling like nailing a same game parlay bet. So lock in your bet today on FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in free bets, win or lose, with promo code ROB. Once again, that promo code is ROB. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is not withdrawable free bets that expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Got a gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789.
Hey, it's Eddie George. You know we all have crazy busy lives and don't take time to research car insurance, right? Well, you don't have to. Xander Insurance does all the work for you. Their system shops over 15 top companies to find you the best rates, and they keep shopping every year. Their clients have saved an average of $600. That's why I'm a client. Xander gives me more options. More options means more savings. Get free quotes at XanderInsurance.com or call 800-356-1780.
This is the Eddie George Show on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
C-Wiz making it happen for us live at 6th and Peabody.
C-Wizzle.
Here he is. You can follow him at WizzyBaby on social, Twitter, IG, the whole thing.
You know, he's the best DJ in Nashville. He does so many different events. He's done Homecoming for us. He's done the Titans games before. He's down at the Hard Rock Cafe. He is.
And now he's here.
Now he's here. And he's doing Mary J. Blige, November the 26th. Yeah, man, he's the master of all things. I love that. He's family.
Do we have a show that week? Is she coming on the show?
I think we would love to.
You've also been known to DJ. By the way, it's the Eddie George Show, presented by Xander Insurance at the Low T Center. We're live at 6th and Peabody. Yeehaw Beer, Old Smoky Moonshine on tap. You've got the White Duck Taco Shop, Daddy's Dogs, and more. You didn't get the dog this week.
I did. I came early.
Oh, you did?
I did. I came early. I got here about 4:30ish.
Oh.
And got 2 dogs with the spicy
You
mustard
didn't come see
relish.
us.
You were back here?
Yeah, we're every day.
I had the dogs with me. I had 2 dogs.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I just wanted to just take it all in.
You can also just tell me that Gaharski was there, and that's why you didn't come by. That's fair, too. You've also been known to DJ. Are we going to get you on the
You know what? I can do
on the
this little
playlist
something.
tonight?
Yeah, I can do a little
At least
something.
for a couple?
Yeah, I can do a couple drops here or there, you know. Look at read the audience. I think we can have a good time tonight.
We will.
Yeah,
it's going to be a blast. By the way, shout out to 102.5 The Game here throughout the day with Jared and Caroline. Big thanks to them for joining us here at 6th and Peabody today. College football was amazing this weekend. Game of the year. I mean, last year it was in College Station. I was lucky enough to be there. And at the time, I left going, okay, I don't want to be I don't want to react in real time and be a victim of the recency bias and say that's the best college game I ever saw. But it's the atmosphere that makes college football timeless.
Yes.
You know, the rivalry games. And the way A&M won that game, they had lost two games. They lost to Mississippi State going in. They had the backup QB in Calzada. And Alabama wasn't the typical Alabama. They won the game. Final drive, won the game. And I was leaving going, man, this is amazing. I was, mocking the fact that we were in College Station, Texas for that game at 7 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
And at 7 p.m. when they kicked off, I was so glad I was there. I was not mocking going to Knoxville this weekend. But Saturday night, after the game, I'm going, that's the greatest college football game I've ever seen. Because Alabama with Bryce Young, you can
live,
say
you're saying.
live.
Okay.
Bryce Young was amazing. Back from injury. He's changing plays at the line of scrimmage. He's getting them into the right play. They're down 18, and they come back to take the lead in the fourth quarter. But Tennessee had an answer, and his name was Hendon Hooker and Jalen Hyatt. And what an amazing finish to that game. And the way that they started to finish and the kick, the knuckle, like the whole thing.
Well,
amazing.
I didn't see all of the game because I was
playing.
coaching.
Yeah, you're
but
winning.
I did see. I was watching it on our way up there, the first half, and they were up by 18. I was like, oh, typical Alabama. They're going to make a run at this, and find a way to win this ball game. And when I saw the final score, 52-49, I was like, oh my God, I missed a classic. And I saw all the pictures online. I was watching. I saw on Instagram. Guys, Peyton Manning with the cigars and just the sea of people on the field, the goalpost. I mean, that is like classic stuff there, man. That's what memories are made of. When you see a game like that, and honestly, in the big picture, I'm thinking like, okay, UT can afford to lose this one.
Yes, they can.
They can afford to lose this one. Okay,
Yeah,
it'd be great to win it. But the game that you want to have like that is against Georgia because you want to see Alabama again, assuming that they went out and so forth, but I think they will in Atlanta. So kudos to UT and their coaching staff. And they've turned the corner in terms of being a real, true contender now. You know what I mean? And I think Hendon is the front runner to win the Heisman Trophy. I mean, that performance that he put on, he had 5 touchdowns, over almost 400 yards passing. He's gotten better. That's you look for signature games as a Heisman Trophy candidate. You find those games. Yeah, you can play, inferior competition and put up big numbers. But when you play the big boys and on a national stage, that to me could have won him the Heisman. Now he's got a couple more things he has to do. Now, he beats Georgia in November. I think you can he can put it in his name and engrave it and go forward from that point on.
So
that's remarkable.
Let me get your opinion on this, because I think it matters that Bryce Young played and played so well. He's the Heisman winner last year.
Yes.
He plays,
Yes.
and he was excellent in this game.
Yes.
If Milroe plays because of Young's shoulder injury, we're looking at this different today. Well, I say we. The reaction, I feel like, would be different, because you could chalk it up to, well, Hendon Hooker played, but Bryce Young didn't, and that was the difference in the ball game. If Milroe plays this game, Tennessee's winning by 21, 24, 28 points. I mean, let's be honest here. Young's getting them in the right play. They're down 8. He made things happen. He was excellent, and I think that actually helps Hendon Hooker's case.
It does, because he went head-to-head with last year's Heisman Trophy winner, and he beat him. I mean, again, you talked about Young, and he played an outstanding game. And that could be a game that he can vouch to say, hey, I should be, two-time Heisman Trophy winner as well. But when you go head-to-head that way and you come out the victor, it leans toward Hooker a little bit more.
Well, and the nation was watching. That's the other thing. Yes. Right? Like some of these voters, I mean, we're honest on the Eddie George show. Yeah. Some of these voters don't see anything.
No.
I mean,
they don't. I mean, especially like West Coast games. I mean, they look at they do this. They pull up their phone.
What was the score?
They look at the stats.
Yep.
Okay. He had 21 for 30, 385 yards. Oh yeah, he gets my Heisman.
Yep.
You don't see all the in between. How you fight through adversity, or you had a key third down that you had to get in a critical moment. That's Heisman-worthy material at that point.
The 27 yards to Brew McCoy to set up the game winning. That throw and catch won't show up. I mean, it's a completion in the stat sheet. It's yards in the stat sheet, but the moment doesn't show up on the stat sheet. And that's what matters in the Heisman race for me, for the greatest player this year in college football. Now, again, let's go to that.
You talk about Heisman moments. You look for that moment.
Yeah.
Right. Not necessarily a particular game, but that moment where you, like Desmond Howard's run against Ohio State. Every Heisman Trophy winner
I feel
has
like
that.
Bryce had it in the fourth quarter and overtime against Auburn.
Yes.
They're down 10, and then the Heisman winner won the game in the rivalry matchup for the conference, right? That's how I view this, through the lens and the prism of that moment. And to be fair to CJ at Ohio State, sorry, Eddie, I know the rules here on the show.
Fine.
He hasn't had those moments yet. He's got Michigan coming up. They've got a schedule, but in the SEC, Hooker so far. Hang on, Hooker so far, 3 SEC opponents ranked.
I'm glad you said that.
Guess how many times the offense is punted in those 3 games?
Twice.
3 times.
3 times. Wow.
And one of them, they got the ball back.
Wow.
Again, like the efficiency there, I think the voters are tuned into that more often than they are. No offense to, whoever Ohio State's playing, but.
Well, here's the thing. You look at strength of schedule.
I'm messing with you a bit here.
No. It's perfectly fine, because they're playing ranked opponents. I think they're. I saw some on ESPN where since 1936, since that era, that they've played the most ranked opponents in a season through the first 6 weeks. Okay, 1995, Ohio State was on that list, so I know that. So we're like second, they're third. So they played Pittsburgh, was ranked 17th, Florida was 20th, LSU was 25th, and Alabama third. And next on the schedule, the back end of it, 19 Kentucky, and Georgia number 1. So, to me, again, there's a lot of football to be played. Okay,
no doubt.
But the level of competition in terms of the SEC compared to what I see out of the Big Ten this year is a little different, I think. And listen, I come from the Big Ten. I think there's quality football, but when we're talking about pound for pound, Kentucky and Florida and Georgia. I mean, it's a different animal. It really is.
So, By the way, I mean, I picked Ohio State to win the championship. Mm-hmm. Michigan, with their victory over Penn State.
Yeah, that was impressive.
So let me give you a playoff scenario.
Okay.
Let's say, and we know, so Bama loses to Tennessee. Tennessee wins. Tennessee, let's say, they play UT Martin, then they have Kentucky. Let's say they get past that. They lose to Georgia. Georgia wins out. And before people say, oh, Georgia's not losing, they lost last year to the SEC champion, the Alabama Crimson Tide, in the SEC championship. Let's say Bama does it again. Who goes to the playoff? We've got Ohio State and Michigan, knowing that Michigan made it last year, and knowing that just knowing the scenario of right now, you could argue we have 2 SEC and 2 Big Ten teams as the best 4 programs in America.
I think if Tennessee were to lose to Georgia, you can make the argument, and they went out their next 3.
And the AP top 4 are those teams.
Yeah,
I'm saying the College Football Playoff Committee.
I mean, Ohio State, Michigan will rule themselves out. Okay, I think the winner of that one will clearly go in. But when you compare, let's say hypothetically, it's Michigan and Tennessee, I'm going to lean toward Tennessee because of their strength of schedule.
Their resume.
Their resume is impressive in terms of who they've beaten, who they played, and the amount of times you have to get up for these games. I mean, now that I'm coaching, it's like the energy you have to put into getting up for these games. You have to play Kentucky and then at Alabama, at Georgia, back to that's balling, man. I mean, you got to put it out there. So that's an impressive resume. So I'm gonna, I will take a 1-loss Tennessee ball team who lost to Georgia without the SEC championship over a 1-loss Michigan team that played against Ohio State.
Hit us up, 615-737-1025. Our number, 737-1025. By the way, he would say a 1-loss Michigan team, not Ohio State, right?
Oh, we know how that's going to go.
Yeah. He did mention their name, though. Victory for me on that.
Yeah, you got me. You got me.
Hey, coming up, NFL discussion. We saw some upsets and some big surprises. The biggest underdog winner of the season thus far through 6 weeks are the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the rookie quarterback didn't even finish the game. And Tom Brady was quarterback for the Bucs yesterday. We'll get Eddie's take on that. We may have a special guest swing by. I'm looking around for him. Oh, he is here. Mm-hmm. You want to announce it or do you want to wait?
We'll wait.
Oh, we'll wait.
Be surprised.
It's the Eddie George Show presented by the Low T Center, lowtcenter.com, Xander Insurance, and we are live on 102.5 The Game.
ESPN Titans NFL Nation reporter Teron Davenport brings knowledge.
3 touchdowns. He was processing, getting rid of the ball quickly.
Passion.
Make no mistake about it. He absolutely has to hit the ground running.
And expertise on the two-tone blue and the NFL. Join TD every Monday at 11, Thursdays at 3, and Friday morning at 8 for all the latest on your favorite team. Teron Davenport is presented by Craneworks on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Welcome to Smashville. Your Nashville Predators take on the LA Kings on Tuesday, October 18th. Treat yourself and your favorite Preds fan to a Super Tuesday offer presented by Assembly Food Hall at 5th and Broadway and WKRN. This promotion includes 2 tickets, 2 hot dogs, 2 sodas, and a $5 gift card to Assembly Food Hall, all starting at just $79. You can't beat this deal. Visit NashvillePredators.com/Super Tuesday. Let's go, Preds.
Hey, it's Chad Withrow here to talk about Renters Warehouse. Renters Warehouse is in heavy demand right now in Nashville for 3 reasons. 1, the rental market is booming. 2, with Renters Warehouse professional landlords, you can rent your house worry-free, no paperwork, rent collections. And 3, with regulations changing so quickly, more people are learning that using an experienced property manager is far less stressful. Go to renterswarehouse.com to book your free home rental price analysis today or call 615-398-9550. That's 615-398-9550. Renters Warehouse Nashville. You can't buy happiness, but you can rent it.
Lift it, load it, grade it, grind it, move it, haul it, rig it, dig it, Craneworks, Rentworks, yeah. The big Big Dog's got it.
Craneworks, the Southeast leader for crane and equipment rental, is looking for the best in the business to fill positions as qualified operators, truck drivers, and mechanics. Craneworks provides superior customer service and a superior work environment. Start lifting Nashville to new heights and apply today at craneworks.com/careers. That's craneworks.com/careers.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs, but the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes, you'll know what's affecting your gas mileage and more, and you don't have to drive too far to find the fix. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service is available at all 6,200 stores.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
See details at AutoZone.com.
You've got advanced prostate cancer, but you're not waiting around. You want straight talk, the facts about Orgovix.
Orgovix Relagolix 120 milligram prescription tablets is a treatment for adults with advanced prostate cancer. Fact: Orgovix is a different kind of androgen deprivation therapy treatment, a pill, not an injection. Orgovix may cause serious side effects, including a heart condition called QT prolongation. Tell your doctor right away if you feel dizzy, faint, have a racing or pounding heart, or chest pain. Orgovix can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during treatment and for 2 weeks after Orgovix treatment. The most common side effects include hot flushes, increased blood sugar and blood fat levels, muscle and joint pain, decreased blood hemoglobin levels, increased liver enzymes, tiredness, constipation, and diarrhea. Other side effects include weight gain, decreased sex drive, and erectile function problems. Orgovix may cause infertility. Talk to your doctor if infertility is a concern for you.
Go with Orgovix. Ask your doctor. For more facts, visit gowiththefacts.com.
This is the Eddie George Show on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Great crowd on hand, 6th and Peabody, our location. We are live 6 to 7 Monday evenings for the Eddie George Show on 102.5 The Game, presented by the Low T Center. And Xander Insurance, C-Wiz in the house, making it happen for us in the DJ booth tonight. Now it feels like an Eddie George event, let's be honest. C-Wiz is here. And then later we're going to crank it up a bit more. A great, big appreciation to everyone tuned in, but also who turned out tonight. Again, join us live here at 6th and Peabody. Ohio State fans, Michigan fans, or Michigan State fans for 15-year NFL vet, and Mr. Sparty, Derek Mason in the house. D. Mace, good to see you, man.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, bro?
Man?
How you doing tonight, man?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. I reject that Michigan thing. You know?
Both of you do. I do that now just to poke the bear over here. And he's very upset with me because I got him to say their name earlier.
Hey,
we call them scum.
You call them scum?
Yeah, we call them scum.
I call them a team up north. But now I'm in media. Sometimes I got to refer to as Michigan, so it is what it is.
We'll get some NFL talk going, but I want your take, D. Mate. By the way, welcome to the Eddie George Show.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You're empty though. We need a.
Yeah, I need some little water.
Oh, all right, water. We got you. So Tennessee, watching that game and the reaction today. What's your take on Vols fans, and what's your take just as a player watching the scene in Knoxville Saturday evening?
As a fan, because I am a fan of UT. I'm a fan of Vandy. Just all the Tennessee teams, because my team's up north. So
yeah, okay.
These are like adopted schools. So
right.
I'm a fan of UT. What they're doing in Knoxville, I mean, you haven't seen this in a very long time.
Yes.
That atmosphere was the way it should be in Knoxville. You know, the way it was when Peyton was there, when T. Martin, and you were winning national championships. And I think what happened after the game was so much. I think it was about the game, the Alabama game, but I think it was about just years and years and years of just turmoil, coach after coach, and just not being
underachieved.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're UT. You're supposed to be one of the
elite.
upper echelon elite universities and programs, and for Hut, for 2 decades, this thing has been real bad for them. So I think it was.
Oh, it's been worse than bad.
I think that celebration was because they beat Alabama, but then it was all that other stuff. And I just hope, because I like Heupel. I like what he's doing offensively. Their defensive line played really good. Coach Banks had those guys blitzing, putting pressure.
Aggressive.
And that's what I wondered. How will they be able to get to Bryce Young? And what they did was they systematically kind of pressured him at certain moments of a game, whether it be third down. They didn't stick to the script. They went outside the script. And Bryce Young was awesome, but I think he also in the pocket, he was a little nervous in the pocket. They made him pat his feet a lot, but the kid made some awesome plays, too.
I mean, he is unbelievable.
Hey, you know what's amazing about have you met him personally?
I haven't met him personally.
Derek, you would think he's an 8th grader. Just by his stature. Like
when you see him, yeah.
When you see him, you're like, whoa, this is Bryce Young? Like, really? Like, you look like you can break this kid in half. No, seriously. But when he puts the pads on and he's out there playing, it's a completely different animal. He's in mastery and control. I mean, he's great arm. Football IQ is off the charts. But it is amazing to see how he has his physical size. He might be 6 foot at the most, 175 pounds soaking wet, and he's making plays like that all over the field at an elite level. It is truly remarkable to watch him go to work that way.
Well, he reminded me a little bit out there. It was a little bit of Joe Burrow, a little bit of Mahomes, a little bit of Josh Allen with the toughness.
Yeah.
Because that kid stood in the pocket, and I think it was done purposely, not in a way to hurt him, but I think Tennessee and that defensive coordinator was like, listen, we got to put some pressure on him. We got to hit him within the rules. Any chance we get to hit him, we got to put him on the ground, and that's what they were doing. So you got to take your hats off to the DC of UT.
All right, let's break down the film. D. Mace, give me your take on Jalen Hyatt and the 5-touchdown performance. And am I right or am I an idiot, which is fair on the second half of that? I think the 3 receivers at Tennessee are better than the 3 receivers at Alabama right now, which is remarkable considering the first-round picks they've had over the last 4 years.
Well, for the last really 10 years, right when Julio got there, and then they just had a string of receivers, man, that has either been first, second round, or third round. These guys, they were like receiver U at Alabama. And I'm going to answer the last question first. You're right. The 3 receivers that UT has are much better than the 3 or 4 that Alabama. And you would never say that in any other year. But they are legit playmakers. And they're able to make these plays. And this is why I like Josh Heupel so much. He finds a way to run an offense to make you declare your defense before the play even gets started. He pushes those guys out wide to the numbers. Those safeties got to declare. Everybody has to declare what they're doing. If I bring them down, now I can hide it, rotate. How can you rotate when everybody's outside the numbers? That makes it easy for a Hendon Hooker to read the defenses very quickly. That's why he hadn't made any mistakes. I mean, the kid is phenomenal. I think to me, he's the Heisman leader right now. And
we agree.
But what they've done, what Heupel has done with that offense since he's gotten there, I mean, I hadn't seen this in a long time. Like this, it almost looked as if that game, you remember the game, Texas A&M, Johnny Manziel in Alabama?
Yeah.
When Nick Saban just was pulling out his hair because he had no answers what they were doing, it was the same with UT. That's why he was so just frustrated, because no matter what Nick did, UT stopped themselves every time. It had nothing to do with Alabama.
And when they actually punted, there was a turnover.
Exactly.
All right, Coach George, how would you slow down the Tennessee offense?
Oh, my God. Don't ask me that question. I have zero idea. I'm trying to slow down Eastern Illinois this weekend.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So 8 men in the box. But, no, to Derek's point, I didn't have a chance to assess the game in that way.
Coach speak.
But Heupel is an offensive genius, and Derek just said it. You know, for him to put the receivers outside on the numbers and have them declare and say, hey, you're either going man to man or it's going to be zone, and allow your quarterback to do what he does. I'm pretty sure he has some weaknesses, but you can't find those weaknesses because he's been put in position to be successful consistently, and that's why he's having the type of year he's having right now.
Now, in regards to Hyatt, I think that was a phenomenal game he had. And I can't wait for Cedric
It's
Tillman.
a legacy game.
Yeah, I can't wait for Cedric Tillman to come back and watch them all on the same field together. It's going to be reminiscent of Joe Burrow and those guys, what they did. I truly believe that. But I don't know what type of receiver he is. Like, if I had to watch him, because of the way their offense operates, he's running wide open a lot. And he doesn't, a lot of it is go route, post route, but the kid got the speed, and he had the hands to make the catches. So you really can't assess what he does as far as route running.
In terms of man-to-man.
Exactly, man-to-man, finding those zones from the inside and stuff like that. But from what I've seen, as far as, like, just pure talent, the kid has it.
Well, consider, Tillman's legit.
Yeah.
Brew McCoy. Physical. He only made 2 catches. The first catch, last catch.
Oh, the last catch was a big one.
But, I mean, again, he knows how to use his physicality to win a one-on-one, a 50-50 ball. Now they've got Hyatt stepping up, too. And to me, when Tillman comes back, it'll be in Athens against Georgia. That's when they can put it together full strength.
Now, Derek, let me ask you this. Do you think if Tennessee doesn't beat Georgia and they went out, are they still one of the best 4 teams that deserve a seat at the table at the end of the year?
I think so, because what would happen is, this is what I want to happen in the purple, because it bleeds chaos. UT loses to Georgia. Georgia goes to the SEC championship. Alabama beats Georgia. Now you got 3 teams with
Just
one
like
loss, and they've all lost to each other, and they were in the top 10. Who has a better resume?
Nobody.
It's just like now you got to make it. You got to who's going, and then if Ohio State goes undefeated, they're automatically in. Whoever goes undefeated in the Big Ten, they're automatically in.
So what made last year easy for the committee is Georgia was 1, and I believe Bama was 4 at the time of the SEC championship, and then you just move Georgia back a couple spots, and then Bama jumps up. And then that's how you have the matchups.
Exactly.
It's not going to be like that this year.
No, it's going to be completely different. I mean, and that's why I'm glad they're expanding the playoff. I think you can throw in some other teams in that same breath. Clemson is under the radar right now. No one's talking about them. They're undefeated.
But USC losing helps this scenario that you're talking about.
Yeah, it does. I mean, so, it's the wild, wild west, I guess, in terms of college football right now.
All right, guys, we're going to talk some Titans ball when we come back. We've got 2 of the all-time greats for this Titans franchise with us. It is the Eddie George Show. And hang on, Eddie, it's your show. So when we come back, we're going to talk old school Titans stories.
Yes.
Okay.
And I want to get Derek's take on the new stadium that's
okay. So I was going to ask you, I don't know if we'll have time for both because I've got questions on the stadium if you want to go there. You want to go stadium?
Let's go stadium.
All right, we'll go stadium.
Absolutely.
Something happened whenever they opened the last stadium that first year, right?
Yeah, lots happened. With the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of good things.
Yeah, I don't know if it's happening this year, but, when the stadium opens in 2026, 27, maybe we gear up for another run. I'll get these guys' takes on the Dome that's coming to Nashville and much more. It is the Eddie George Show, presented by Low T Center and Xander Insurance on 102.5 The Game.
The college football season never stops. ESPN college football analyst Trevor Manich joins Stillman and Company every Tuesday at 4:30.
They've got to do what Nick Saban in Alabama has done so successfully over the last 10 years.
Presented by Houston Clinic Orthopedics on Nashville's best sports talk, 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
From Fox 17 News, this is a Code Red weather alert.
Temperatures overnight tonight drop back into the low 30s. Our first freeze on the way. We'll see some upper 20s outside of city centers. Highs in the afternoon Tuesday reach the low 50s with sunshine. For Fox 17, I'm Chief Meteorologist Katie Morgan.
This weather report brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Hey, it's Eddie George. You know we all have crazy busy lives and don't take time to research car insurance, right? Well, you don't have to. Xander Insurance does all the work for you. Their system shops over 15 top companies to find you the best rates, and they keep shopping every year. Their clients have saved an average of $600. That's why I'm a client. Xander gives me more options. More options means more savings. Get free quotes at XanderInsurance.com or call 800-356-1780.
Signs First, Nashville's leading locally owned and operated sign and physical media company, has been supporting local community organizations for over 30 years. Signs First offers a 10% discount to all churches, nonprofits, and charities. Go to sfnash.com.
Hey folks, Joey here talking FanDuel Sportstalk. One of the things I love about FanDuel, player props and new players, game props I like. What's cool about FanDuel is you can combine these with other bets from the same game to score an even bigger payout. Perfect for tonight's game, Monday Night Football, Chargers, Broncos. Look, right now I'm going to tell you, I'd go under if I'm doing a same game parlay on this game. I feel like it might be another ugly one. But I do think Jerry Jeudy might have the bigger night for the Broncos. I definitely would go Chargers in this game. Do whatever you want. Just do it with the same game parlay on FanDuel. One of many reasons to love it. It's easy to use. It's safe. It's secure. You got live betting. You got odds boosts and specials. And, of course, there's no feeling like nailing that same game parlay. Lock it in today. New customers get $150 in free bets, win or lose with promo code Joe102. Again, promo code Joe102. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Must be 21 or older, present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issue is now available for free bets. Expire 14 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbet.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line 800-889-9789.
Join 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Nashville Predators Energy Team this Thursday, October 20th at Jasper's on West End for Nashville Predators versus Columbus Blue Jackets. Enjoy Jasper's Preds game day specials and enter for a chance to win game tickets. Go Preds!
This is the Eddie George Show on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
The Eddie George Show presented by Xander Insurance and the Low T Center online at lowtcenter.com. You can catch Eddie and D. Mace along with Chase and Willie on their show, 102.5 The Game.
Great show, too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's fantastic.
Been on there a couple times.
And you tell some great stories.
Oh, Derek's the best, man. I mean, again, I'm if things shake up, next year, my staff, I'm definitely trying. He laughing.
Hey, if you're not coaching,
serious, look at him.
By the way, Derek Mason, our special guest on the Eddie George Show. If he offered you, there are two positions you can choose.
Okay.
You're not a play caller. This doesn't count. Position coach.
Okay.
No. It's wide open. The slate is wide open.
Oh, he's going to go wide receiver. I'm going to give him anything but wide receiver.
Okay, here we go. All right.
Oh, the coach?
Yes, anything but wide receiver. Where would you go and why?
I would go to D-line.
Oh. Wow.
Either the D-line or the DBs.
Really?
Yeah, because I've always having, three older brothers. Like, football for us was just, like, never. I tell this story, and every time we get home, we tell the same story. I remember my second oldest, I had to be, 9, 10 maybe, and there was this other kid in the neighborhood. He was a bigger kid. We were both the same age, but he was much bigger than me.
Like you and Eddie.
Yeah, basically. That's just how it was. At the age of 9, we're both 8, 9 years old. And there was a school right across the street from us, but there was this, like, strip of grass, maybe 15 but it was long. Well, maybe 15 feet wide, maybe 100 feet, 200 feet long. And there was a tree in the middle of it. My brother made me play football with this guy. We went up to 42, 50, something like that. But the kicker was I couldn't run. I couldn't be a receiver. He would hand me the ball, and I would have to run through this big guy. This is the truth, like the honest to God truth. He would not. I would always line up a little bit wide. Nope, get back in the backfield.
Oh my God, I love it.
But that's just the mentality I grew up with.
Yes,
it's just like combat.
Yes.
So that's why I would go with the D line or the DBs.
Yeah, I love it. You know what? That's a great, because you never know. You assume he'll go with the receivers or it might be a play caller, but that's who he is. He is grit, grind, Detroit, and tough, and Michigan. I mean, he's. I get it now. I get it. So D-line, you would coach the defensive linemen.
Yeah, man, you gotta love the offensive line and the defensive line were like my two favorites. because they went on their own. They went on their own beat, but they set the offensive line set the tone of the locker room.
As a group.
As a group. They set the tone of everything.
No doubt.
And the defensive line sets the tone for them, whatever they do. So I've always those guys I've always gravitated
You can
toward.
typically find out the character or the identity of any football team by looking at those two groups.
Exactly.
You know, if you have a nasty, tough offensive line, you know your team is built that way. If they're kind of passive and not very, aggressive, that's the whole identity of the team from special teams on. I mean, the trenches are everything. So I definitely agree with you on that.
So we've got ESPN Radio coming up on 102.5 The Game, which means I have an out time, unlike cigars, cocktails, and conversation. I know. Look at your watch. Let's talk new stadium announced today. Two Titans greats. What do you think about the dome that's going to come here? And I think we've known for a little while that it's going to happen. They made it official today, finally. And personally, I love the details of it. And I like the year-round events that are coming to Nashville.
Well, for me, it's a great business play. I think it's time. It's let's face it. I say Philadelphia, but the Nissan Stadium is a little outdated. A lot. And I think where Nashville is as a city.
Yeah.
They're ready for big events like the Super Bowl, the Final Four, a college football playoff game, concerts year-round. It's an international, it's an international city now. So you need a venue that can support that looks that way. So from that side, I love it. It hurts a bit because we were here when it was being built from the ground up. And it's hard to believe, for me, 32 years is going by like that. And I've been living that long to see a new stadium be built, played in for 30 years, and be torn down now. It's unbelievable. But I think it's a wonderful opportunity for the city of Nashville.
What do you think, D-Mace?
I think it's a good move. Nashville, it's sort of like that. Say you had that professor or that dean at a university that sort of helped kind of guide the program and lift it up and then kind of went to its side. But you always want to show homage to that dean and that professor, because without that dean and that professor, we're not who we are.
Right.
Nashville needs to continue to pay homage to the Tennessee Titans, because this city isn't what it is now if it were not for the Tennessee Titans or the Nashville Predators.
No question.
So when you knew it was coming eventually, that they were going to want a new stadium, it was just when, what type of stadium it was going to be, and how much it was going to cost.
Yes.
Well, we sort of know all of those things. I'm with Eddie. You hate to see Nissan come down, or Adelphia when we were playing. But you knew eventually it was going to have to change. But good thing about it is they're building a new stadium right next to the old.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be more geared toward entertainment. You're going to have entertainment district, food, restaurants, hotels, retail, condos. So it's going to be yet another district in Nashville for people to come and be a part of. I think it's going to only enhance the city that much more.
Whatever you guys invest in, can I get 0.1%? Can I donate 0.1%?
Sure, you can do that. Yeah.
And I'm opening up Pandora's box here. We only have 60 seconds left. I prefer outdoor grass.
Me too.
For football.
Personally, I prefer it as well. I mean, I've always been a grass guy. I believe in it. But I think they're going to go with something like more of a cork, synthetic,
it'd be a field turf
type situation. Yeah.
And I can't have everything. So I'll take the dome and I'll take the year-round events. I'll take TSU Tigers football there.
Yeah, we'll be there too. Yes.
D-Mace. Good to have you on the show.
Yeah, it's great to be on, man. I enjoyed it. So
come back.
I will.
6th and Peabody, big thanks to Yeehaw Beer, Old Smoky Moonshine, Xander Insurance, and, of course, the Low T Center, lowtcenter.com. Jared Cassidy for making the show happen back at our studios. And huge thanks to Ladarius Robinson for being on the site with us. TSU winners 30-14. And coming up, Eastern Illinois on 94.9 The Fan, but they're also back home at Nissan Stadium. 2 o'clock kickoff, 1:30 pregame on 94.9 The Fan. Eddie, go get them, man.
All right, man, let's go do it.
Let's make it 3 in a row.
Let's do it. Next week.
Next week, the party continues live on 102.5 The Game for the Eddie George Show, presented by Xander Insurance and the Low T Center.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
In a world where human interaction seems to be reduced to chats and clicks and emails, where transactions are measured only by speed, where corporate policies overrule common sense, sometimes you just want to go old school.